What's up, everybody? We got another banger episode for you. Um, Hope you like it, and maybe after this episode, you'll want to take some advice from what we have to say. Not trained professionals, not nothing special. Check it out.
What's up, everybody?
We're back.
We are back. And if you're seeing this, this means 3 times now you've decided to be bored and watch us.
Yeah, had nothing better to do with your life.
I kind of dig it. So last episode, Cody brought it up. I had to stop him because I think this could be a whole episode in itself.
Right, I agree.
He was talking about bug out bags. What you would do in a shit hits the fan scenario. That's a big subject. That's a huge deal with a lot of people. Got to start off right now and say once again, this is all my opinion and his opinion. I'm not an expert in bugging out or anything. I just have my own little plan of what I would do if per se shit would hit the fan.
I agree.
Scenario. So you had to leave your house in a hurry and had to grab 3 things. What would you grab?
Describe the scenario.
Um,
If you're just talking everyday life scenario, I phone, keys, wallet, but that's just anything. Like if you're talking about one of them scenarios,
like it life or death deal. Something went bad. I don't even know how to put that across the globe, and you're in panic mode and you've got to go. Or in some people's case, you got to stay because I wouldn't leave.
okay, so you're saying 3 things, not including people.
Yeah. Oh no, you're gonna grab your
grabbing
family
kids,
up.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
taking your kids and stuff like that. But
But like
if
3
I had
things
to
that you
go,
think are a necessity that you would need.
if I had to grab things I needed, I would grab I'm grabbing a pistol, of course.
Right.
Depending on how shitty the situation is, I'm grabbing I'm grabbing a knife.
Right.
Because you never know if it's one of those like shit hits the fan, power grids are out. We're gonna have to eat.
Right.
I'm gonna have to go find something to eat, and I'm gonna grab my AR because not gonna lie, I don't have my 9mm with me for this episode, but they don't hold. Besides some of us, they only hold 9, 10 rounds. So
Yeah,
I'm
true.
gonna grab an AR, and then I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make shit right.
Right. No, we had talked about this here a while back. And right off the top of your head, you're like, I don't even remember the 3 things you said.
Oh.
But one of them you said, my computer. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's fine and dandy, but what if there's no internet?
Yeah.
Like, what if everybody depends on this type of stuff, this technology, this...
And I can say I'm one of them people,
Right.
and it's the generation I grew up in. But
it's just a different perspective.
And this is I'm 32 years old. You're 45?
Yeah, what do you think?
Okay.
I am. I'm not 46 yet.
Yeah. So
It's coming, but I'm not there yet.
that's today.
No. It's December the 5th. Is that today?
Oh, it's Snapchat Live.
Wait
But our generations are clearly different.
a minute. Don't use that. My birthday's not December 5th. Is that too much information to give you?
No. But I do all of my bill paying on here.
Right.
I pay my bills this way. I don't do the what you call old school way
Right.
of writing checks and putting them in a mailbox or
Still do that.
going in and paying for it in person because everybody, like you said, relies on a computer to do things.
We are very
And-
technology driven.
And that's so whenever and if ever shit crashes,
Right.
a lot of people are gonna not know what the hell they need and what they need to carry and what they need to have. And it's kind of what we did with this episode was. So what were your 3 things?
Well, my 3 things are a little bit more simple because, once again, this podcast is fun. I wanted to do this. I think it's cool. Excuse me. I hope everybody else thinks it's cool. This would not happen without him. I don't know how to do any of this. I have a smartphone. It's smarter than I am.
He can make a TikTok. That's
I
about as far as you can
I
get.
can make a TikTok, and they're mediocre to say the least. Um, but I don't have the same mindset as most people. When I think of if I had to bug out, aside of my wife and my kids, would be the first thing. If I had to leave my house, I would make sure I had something to purify water, which I have, in my bag. I would make sure that I had some kind of food to sustain me for a short period of time, and or a long period of time, whichever the case may be. And I would make sure that I had some way to provide shelter and fire. Fire, I don't ever worry about because I have it on me all the time. I have a lighter. I carry a Bic lighter with me everywhere. Should have talked about that in the EDC deal because even if you don't smoke cigarettes, you don't smoke cigars, you don't have a use for it, I think that's a super cool thing to carry in your pocket, have with you all the time, just in case. You never know when you need to burn something or light a fire or whatever. I always have a fire source on me. So
You know,
mine would
that makes
be the
sense.
food water storage or food water shelter,
Yeah.
and fire be thrown in there because it's always on.
Okay. I didn't go down that road because
Yeah.
I mean I wasn't. I guess I would say I wasn't expecting that scenario. I
Right.
was expecting like, you know, there's a mass shooter and oh, I almost said where we live. There's a mass shooter where we live and like, that kind of shit hits the fan situation. I wasn't
Right.
thinking like everything crashes and you're gonna have to. There is no more
Yeah.
running water. There is no more because they shut down all that stuff.
And just to clarify, I'm not no doomsday prepper or like conspiracy theorist. I just think at the end of the day, everybody should be a little bit prepared.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of guy that has a storage unit. I have seen those shows on TV
Mm.
where they have the storage unit in their house. Like
Yeah.
it's like a room that's hidden in a wall.
Right.
And they open it up and they've got 20 cases of water. They've got MREs. They've got like ramen noodles and just random as shit. And I think that show. I don't know if you ever seen it.
Yeah. Doomsday preppers.
Yeah, they show them going to the grocery store and people are like questioning them buying so much sugar and so much
Right.
salt.
Right. And do I think it's far fetched? Yeah, that's probably a little much.
Do I want a bunker paid for and put in the ground by my house? Yes.
Yeah.
I would love an underground home. Like you can be like, babe, I'm going outside, and then like your neighbor watches you go downstairs that don't exist, and then you just vanish for 10 hours, and then you come out drunk, and you're like, dude, it's so fun in there. I mean,
You should have been down there. The stereo is awesome.
right?
But in the same breath, I mean, you have to keep that mindset. Like, I'm the kind that when I go to Walmart, heaven forbid Walmart, or to the grocery store or anything else, I make it a point every time I go to buy something non-perishable, just extra, even if it's just a can of beans or something,
Right.
to throw in the pantry. Just so I've got a little bit extra. Tell me you didn't forget COVID.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
really?
Shit paper.
Toilet paper, of all things.
Shit.
What I don't know, what was people going to do with 7,500 rolls of shit paper?
And you not remember
I don't know about you,
people
but
were using baby formula for milk?
yeah,
Like, because there was no milk.
there
to
was no
buy.
milk.
I mean, how many of you, and you can comment below, how many of you can actually go out and milk a cow and get your own milk?
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
But I
Or,
mean,
I
in the same breath, you look at all that stuff. Personally, I grew up on a farm,
Same.
and we learned how to do stuff a little bit different than this new generation. Like, they're freaking out that Walmart didn't have any toilet paper. All I thought was I was going to have a whole lot of sleeveless shirts or a bunch of mismatched socks.
Right.
Because when you're out deer hunting and old Mother Nature calls, I have walked home several times with one sock or one sleeve cut off my t-shirt. My mom's like,
Driving
why
down
are
the highway.
all your t-shirts sleeveless? Well, because I had to cut this one off to match because I wiped my butt with this one.
I will say the worst highway to drive in that situation is 54 going west.
Yeah.
You got 3 gas stations to stop at,
Oh, yeah.
and they're like 45 minutes in between. And
Yeah, there's some long
I may or
stretches
may not
there.
have showed up to work a couple mornings with no socks on.
For sure.
That's why I always carried wet wipes in my in my glove compartment.
Well, there you go again. That's another thing. Like, especially people with children. or little children. Wet wipes. Those are
They're
handy.
like they're like a multi. They're not
Those
just
are
for
handy.
babies. They're for
No.
adults too.
You can clean baby's face.
Dude wipes. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take some.
They're kind of cool.
I
I
mean,
hear they're
I
kind
mean,
of cooling as well.
Yeah, they're refreshing.
I like being refreshed. So, woo-hoo, clean undercarriage. But I mean, there's so many different ways to look at it. Granted, there's several different scenarios.
Right.
But in my mind, the biggest threat per se I see is what we're doing. The internet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it goes down, there are so many people that would lose their ever loving mind.
I have relatives that don't know how to install, work on, do things in everyday life without watching a YouTube video.
And I will say that's super handy.
It's very handy.
There's
but it's
a lot
like,
of stuff that
I
didn't
grew
know how
up
to
with
do.
a guy, my stepfather, who was a mechanic
Right.
and a welder and stuff like that. And he taught me those things, and he was like, maybe one day you're gonna need this. And it's like, I needed it because I can work on about anything I need to figure. I can figure it out.
Right.
Apparently, I do a shitty job sometimes.
But I'm not pointing any fingers.
But I mean, yeah, it's like this. I get what you're saying. Like, internet crashes, even power grids get shut down.
Oh, it could be horrible.
How many people out there don't know how to start a fire?
And exactly.
Without
and
a
how many
lighter.
people are going to go straight panic mode?
Right?
Like if the power went out.
And they
Okay.
judge me for having a 50-gallon drum of lighter fluid.
Right. But I mean, if the power grid went out, okay, I got to start the generator.
Yeah.
I got to worry about putting fuel in the generator. We'll deal with it. Other people would lose their ever-loving mind
Mm-hmm.
if you couldn't get up in the morning and check your social media. Wow.
Wait, what am I gonna watch when I'm pooping?
I don't know.
Because I got
The wall?
Well, I got real tired as a kid reading the shampoo bottle. I could tell you almost every ingredient in Suave shampoo.
I bet you can.
You're just like,
Where are you really pooping?
yes,
You didn't use that shampoo for other reasons.
no.
Ah, okay. Well,
Like, well, it was either that or People magazine, and those get boring with all the
Yeah.
with all the gossip in
I
Hollywood.
mean, it don't take me long enough to poop to worry about it.
That's just one day. Dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
Not
Dude
sponsored.
wipes.
This is not a hashtag ad, but dude wipes. That'd be
I mean,
perfect.
but yeah,
I mean,
I'd use some dude wipes.
I'd take a case of those.
I don't know what I'd use them for. I'd probably put them in my bag. But
Right.
like food, we were talking. You said I'm not that guy that'd have a whole bunker full of MREs. No, me either. But I go elk hunting.
Yep.
And we have freeze-dried food, mountain rations. I always make sure when I'm buying them every year, before we go to the mountains, I always buy extra. I take with me, we pack out, we go quite primitive. Like we'll go base camp is at about 9,500 feet, and then we spike out for 5 days at over 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
You got to carry everything you're going to need for those 5 days on your back. So you got to figure out how many days worth of food you need.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take snacks, because I don't know about you, but I'm a fat guy, and I get hungry.
I eat a lot, and you know that.
Oh, yeah, way more than me, and he's tiny. But you have to figure out how much you need, so I go through and plan it all. That's a whole process. That takes like a month to get everything ready for your mountain trip. But I always buy extra,
Yeah.
and I always keep it on hand. And once again, my wife gives me a hard time. What are you prepping for? I'm not prepping for anything. But I think it's better to be prepared and have it on hand and not need it than to need it and not have it.
And I mean, you're not wrong.
No,
I mean, that's a mindset a lot of people should have, but a lot of people don't do that.
no. And I feel like we're too technology dependent. I talked to a guy the other day, and I said something about, oh yeah, you know, when you take your kids camping. And he stopped and looked at me. He's like, I don't think we've ever actually done that.
I was at camp, and I had some of the funnest times of my life as a child.
For sure. Who doesn't take their kids camping?
Yeah. And that's not saying go buy a $60,000 camper.
No.
No, I'm saying you go out, you pitch a couple tents, start you a fire.
Yeah.
I mean, and then
And learn.
like we used to go to Roaring River every year in Arkansas.
That's fun.
And literally, my stepdad would wake us up at 5 a.m. because I'm sure you've been
Roaring
there.
River's actually in Missouri, but anyway.
Or It's Missouri Arkansas line.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
Close. And then he would say in the morning whenever him and his dad would wake us up, they'd be like, all right, it's time to go catch our dinner.
Right.
We would go to the stream and we would catch trout, and then we'd eat them. I mean, that was our thing.
Poor thing.
And I don't know, it wasn't bad. I've been like, how many people do that with their kids?
No, for sure.
Teach them to fish, clean them, eat them.
Yeah.
Like,
not speaking bad on trout, but I don't like them.
well, it's not the greatest.
I mean, I love fish.
It's not like a fat ass crappie sandwich
No.
or
Oh,
catfish
yeah, there you go.
sandwich, but I mean,
I
could go out right now and go fish at a pond and I could catch a catfish and clean it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't know how to clean a fish.
For sure. Don't know how to clean a deer. Don't want to clean a deer.
Don't know how to debone or to debrust a duck or a chicken or, I mean.
Disclaimer alert. There's a lot of people that go to Walmart and buy a hamburger, but they don't realize where it comes from.
True.
Or the process that it takes
I've
to
seen
get it.
those videos, yeah.
Me too.
They don't know where eggs come from.
Wow. They don't come from chickens. The chicken came first, right? Or did the egg?
I don't know who was coming first.
Oh, wait, that'd be a whole different episode there. Yeah.
I have no idea who was coming first, but it must have been the chicken.
Okay, so we're going on this whole bugging out. I'm trying to just pretend I didn't, yeah. So we're talking on this whole bugging out thing. And you got 3 things you grab. Okay, so best case scenario, other question. What caliber of gun would you grab and take with you?
Just one gun.
If you could grab one gun, what caliber?
5.56.
Okay.
Because you can use it for many things.
All right.
Home defense, obviously.
Right.
So if you have to, if you can't stay in your house anymore for certain reasons, and you gotta make shelter somewhere or whatever, you can have. I mean, it's a small enough round. It doesn't make a whole lot of noise if you have the right setup.
Right.
But you can also take down an animal.
For sure.
With the 5.56, not damage a bunch of meat.
For sure.
But I mean, I think 5.56 is a pretty good all-around round to shoot at anything.
Right.
So
I'm taking the 22.
20, yeah.
I can carry 50 times the ammo of any other caliber. Bullet placement's everything. So you shoot an animal in the ear, you can take down the biggest animal on the planet with a 22.
True.
Once again, like you said, super quiet, especially put in the right platform with the right tools. You can make a 22 almost soundproof. Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought my son a pellet rifle, and my 22 set up the right way is quieter than my son's pellet rifle. Bad to the bone. And you carry, you throw a 22 pistol on, you throw a 22 rifle on, you can pretty much cover everything you want. And back in the day, I know they're kind of hard to come by now, you could get 500 rounds of 22 ammo in a little block that wasn't much bigger than a cell phone.
Do you remember the 22 rifle shortage? A couple years ago? You couldn't find it anywhere?
I'm trying to think when that was. I believe it was before COVID.
Yeah. Like they just
and 22. Yeah, and I don't remember exactly what happened. I just remember everybody freaking out. They weren't going to get 22 rounds, and the price of them went through the roof. And just to not sound too butthurt, but I kind of still am, that ammo never went back down.
No.
22 ammo is still
it's like the price of fuel.
Still expensive. And I realize inflation and everything's going up and yada yada yada,
but you didn't change anything on the round.
Nothing about a 22
Nothing
has
changed.
ever improved. It's the same bullet I was shooting at 6 years old, and you could buy a box of them for 75 cents from Casey's.
From a gas station.
We go into Casey's, and as long as the girls, this is crazy. This kind of shows my age, but all the girls that worked at the Casey's in my hometown knew me, and they knew my parents. And they would ask me for 75 cents what I was buying 22 shells for. And if I said rifle, they'd sell them to me. If I said pistol, they wouldn't give them to me.
Yeah.
So I figured it out pretty quick, and I was like, oh, it's for my rifle.
Yeah.
But yeah, 22, I think probably, and once again, I'm going to name drop Mitch. He'll agree with me. I think 22 is probably the best all-around caliber for anything. I think you could pretty much do whatever. You've got the small game, You're not going to tear them up with a 22.
Right.
You can take down the big game with the right bullet placement. And it's super light. You can carry a lot of it.
Yeah.
So if you're talking, hey, I got to leave and I'm not going to be back for a while, but I need to make sure I got plenty of ammo, I think it's the way to go.
Right.
But there you go again. That's just an opinion.
I agree. I mean,
Now-
I didn't think about that round.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like all around versatile, and for some reason 22 seems to always slip my mind.
And I've heard a lot of guys say, I'd grab my 12 gauge. Not a bad idea.
No, I mean you can still harvest an animal.
Because you can do
with 12
slugs and all that stuff with a 12 gauge.
gauge. Yeah.
I still have the argument of that's a lot of weight in ammo.
Oh, if you were to take comparison the weight of a 22 rifle to a 12 gauge shotgun, depending on the brand of shotgun, but your average Joe is not carrying around, your Browning A1s and stuff
Right.
like that. They're carrying around like a Remington 870.
Yeah.
And them things are a damn tank. I mean,
Yeah.
they're heavy.
And the ammo.
Yeah.
Like
And a shotgun bullet probably weighs a couple pounds, a pound at least.
I don't know, but it's equivalent
Yeah.
to at least 20,
Yeah.
22 shells.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm curious on how many 22 shells you could fit in
Me too.
a. I might have to bring an empty case.
We might have to try that.
Yeah, that one might be.
Because when you're talking, gotta go, gotta throw it all basically on my back, and I'm thinking in mountain terms, how much I can carry on my person and take care of me and my family, 22 shells I think are the way to go.
Exactly.
I really do. So there you go again. If we're doing the bug out bag, in that scenario, what would you have in your bag? What are some things you can think of right off the top of your head you would throw in this bag to have ready so when you leave?
For a situation like that.
Yeah.
One of those situations, obviously. I mean, I'll just stick with the 5.56 I said because you
Right.
can get them to fit in the bag.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty sure.
Especially an AR pistol.
Yeah, I mean, you might be seeing one of those pretty soon.
Oh, I heard a guy's buying one.
I mean, maybe. But one of them, I mean, let's see. If it's just a bug out bag, ammo obviously.
Right.
Oof.
Well, let me give you a little bit.
I'm stumped because my brain is wondering what all could I fit in that bag. 'Cause
Right.
I mean, it just depends on the bag size. But your normal bag size is like a sports bag, like a gym bag.
Right. Well, and I should have brought mine.
Yeah.
Because I have a backpack. Mine's not the big fancy into the world zombie apocalypse bug out bag.
Yeah, but you gotta think that bag's gonna be heavy to tote somewhere.
For sure. But
You're
like
gonna be carrying that bag.
if I was in a hurry and something bad had happened and I needed to get out of the house and get on the move and get stuff going, I have a bag I can throw over my shoulders and take off, and at least for 5 days I'd be all right.
Yeah.
Until everything settled down, I figured out what was actually going on and where I needed to go and what I needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 days worth of food always in it that never comes out, because in that kind of scenario, in my mind, I'm thinking you only have to eat every other day. So if I've got 3 days worth in there, that'll get me 6 days. Or if I just portion it out to half and half,
Yeah.
I can get 6 days. I have a first aid kit, which that's a wormhole you can spiral down,
Oh.
because everybody's got their ideas of you need a tourniquet, you need this, you need that, and a military survival kit, and
Your everyday first aid kit.
first aid kit. I mean, there's 2 different kinds of kits there. Mine is pretty minimal when it comes to like really extravagant stuff.
Yeah.
I went and bought a first aid kit from a sporting goods store.
Yeah, aren't
It's
those
got-
like those little bags?
Yeah, it zips up in its own little bag.
Bag, whatever it's called.
Doesn't take up any space at
Yeah.
all. The bag's useful. It's got like a Mylar blanket, one of the foil blankets to keep you warm if you got hypothermic. It's got a bunch of Band-Aids, a bunch of gauze, and all them little foil packs of different kinds of antiseptic and ointments and all that stuff in it. I think it's got a couple of Q-tips. I don't know why you need those, other than
I like my ears clean.
Right, but I mean, in a survival situation, I don't think you're going to be worried
Maybe
about
like
earwax.
dig in something and get it out,
True,
maybe.
true. And, mine, I added a few things to it. I have some, and this would have to be super bad situation. I threw in some quick clot,
Okay.
and just gonna say, I'm 100% male. I identify as a male, but I have tampons.
Yeah, because
Those things
I've seen
are
videos
amazing.
that can plug a bullet hole.
Oh, for sure.
They put it in there, pull it out, and it will absorb blood and stay in the hole.
And I know you have a lot of girls in your house.
Right?
A
I have
lot.
plenty of those.
Um, sometime without them knowing, grab one of theirs, run around in the room somewhere and hide, and don't let them see you do it. Take it out of that little applicator thing and take it apart. Holy crap, you would be shocked how much gauze
Is the other one?
or how much, yeah, like stuffing is in one of those things. You could bandage up a serious wound
Yeah.
with one of them.
But I believe I saw a movie. Was it a movie
I don't know.
or something one time where a guy got shot? Was it? He went through the arm,
And you just
and he
stabbed a
and he
tampon
would.
in there.
Well, he broke into a convenience store
Ha!
and was looking at things, and he literally shoved the tampon in it, pulled it out, like pulled the plastic thing off, and then wrapped it in gauze.
Was it MacGyver?
I mean, I can honestly say I've never seen a MacGyver movie,
Oh,
but
he can save you with a paperclip.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, that's what he did in the TV show. I don't think it's real though.
but yeah, I mean, it. I mean, yeah, there is a lot you could.
Oh, there's
do.
a lot. They're super useful.
So
Same way with the sanitary napkins.
yeah,
Wow, those things are amazing for soaking up blood or bodily fluid or whatever. Like there's so many little things that people use in their everyday life, and they use them for one purpose and one purpose only. There's so many different uses for them.
yeah. Now you're gonna maybe want to go buy one of them kits. I believe
They're super
our
cheap too.
our work sells those bags. I'm pretty sure they
Okay.
had some on the counter. They're a little black bag. It's got like a cross on it. It's
Yeah,
red,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
just unzip the top and
Heck, you can go to Walmart.
yeah,
Walmart sells them.
probably.
Um, there's several different places. But there you go again. You know, like I'm a little bit different case than you because I do carry my backpack with me all the time.
And that's also two different generations. I don't think about those things quite
Right,
often.
right.
And maybe I should start thinking about shit hits the fan. Am I gonna have enough things? I mean,
Yeah, because you got several more mouths to worry about than I do.
yeah. So which I do carry a lot of ramen in my house,
Oh, hey,
and that goes a long way.
that goes a long ways.
Yeah.
You can feed an army with a package of ramen.
Right.
I mean, you may not poop for a couple days, but you can feed them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
there's several different things that, and that's the other thing. So then you get into the case of water.
Yeah.
So say, I mean, people are super dependent on turning that faucet,
Oh yeah.
and water just magically appears.
Yeah.
What if it didn't? Like, what would you do water-wise to, I mean,
Do you have one of them bags?
I have what they
I
call a
watched
life
video
straw.
where a guy has a bag and he goes out to this like muddy stream,
Right?
takes the bag and puts it in the stream, picks the water up, and you can see it's like a brownish color and
Right.
musky stuff in it. And he literally takes this thing and breaks it, puts it in there, shakes the bag up, and hangs it up like an IV bag.
Yeah.
And you watch it start to separate.
Yeah.
And literally, it has a turn nozzle, and it comes out crystal clear water.
See, some of it is as iodine tablets they'll put in. That'll neutralize all of the bad stuff in it.
Yeah.
The other part, I have what they call a Sawyer squeeze pack. And it's, if you ever heard of a life straw,
Mhm.
life straws are them big, long tubes you stick in the water and you can drink the water dirty right out of a puddle. And it cleans up to so many thousands of microns. I mean, they're super cool.
Yeah.
Well, I have a Sawyer Mini, and it's called a squeeze pack. And I always take it with me to the mountains. And it's like you're talking. You can scoop that bag full,
Yeah.
zip it closed, and then you squeeze it and it pushes it through that filter.
Mm.
And so you can filter it right there. They even make the Sawyer, they even make a water bottle now. You literally just scoop up nasty water, screw the cap on, and as you're drawing it through there, it goes through a filter before it gets to your mouth.
And yes,
I don't think
there's still the old-fashioned way. You can still boil water.
Oh, for sure. But there you go again. You got to have fire to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And in some scenarios, it may not be smart to light a fire because you give away your position.
Right.
So
But
you gotta look at what's functional, what's fast.
I also didn't think you have a backpack. you have the backpack that has the.
with a hydration pack.
So I mean, how many people own like a canteen or something? And
Right.
you can carry purified water.
For sure.
Because if you did have to have the fire at night or something to boil water, or
I can carry roughly 2.5 gallons in my Camelback.
Yeah, which that could go a long ways.
It'll get you a ways.
A ways. Yeah.
And then you have to. That's why I carry that Sawyer Mini. I can refill my Camelback.
Yeah.
Plus, I can filter out enough with it to fill a water bottle.
Mhm.
I can usually carry about 2 days worth of water.
Yeah.
On me. That is a super staple.
Yeah.
You can live without food. You can live without a lot of things. You cannot live without water.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Like you said, a lot of people become dependent on.
Turn that faucet.
Yeah.
Here it magically appears.
Turn that faucet. Turn on the heater.
Yeah.
Hit the on switch. Turn on your air conditioner. Oh, could you imagine?
No.
You would have to live without air conditioning.
I can't imagine because I'd hate
Please.
to have to live without air conditioning.
Please wear deodorant, people. That
Oh,
would
that's
be a
super cheap.
necessity.
That goes in your bug out bag. Definitely deodorant.
Deodorant.
If
for
you've
sure.
got to be miserable, there's no reason to stink.
And for all you women who judge men for having 3-in-1 shampoo, body wash, conditioner, all that shit,
That's the only kind I knew of.
I mean, we carry one bottle. We ain't gotta carry 4.
I may not carry any. If it gets to that point, I'll put some deodorant on just so I don't have to smell myself.
Right.
But I'm not worried about it.
But yeah, I mean, that's crazy to think about. Like now, my brain's churning about
Yeah.
all the things you should. And it's not like you like you said. You ain't gotta have a bunker. You ain't gotta have, a whole dresser in your house full of medical equipment. But it's like, do you have the right stuff for if shit hits the fan? Because like,
Have you ever just thought about how many medications
people take
that people take? Okay, let's say your household, for instance. Do you have anybody in your household that takes medicine on a daily basis?
my daughter?
What would you do if you couldn't get it?
Well, considering you're basically on the same medication,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are.
What would you do if you couldn't get it? That's scary.
Right? And the problem is with medications is they regulate how much you can have
They do.
for a reason. It makes you reliable on them. But it's like, I don't know because bacteria is what causes her meningitis to flare up. Same with you.
Yeah.
And you stop taking that medicine, you're putting yourself at risk. And that's a lot of the problem is. I did not think about that at all.
People are dependent on so many different things.
But I mean, that situation you have to be.
You have
That saves your life because
For sure.
I'm pretty sure when you came back from your hunt trip last year, you somehow managed to get sick and you were right back in the
no,
hospital.
that was Mexico. Remember?
Oh, that's
That
Mexico.
was from getting really drunk in Mexico.
Oh well, don't eat the worm.
No, don't eat
But,
the worm. Well, it really wasn't.
That's like my daughter. If she runs a fever over 101 for so long, it can flare up meningitis
Right.
and can cause it to start back all over again. Which that shit kills you.
It does.
But I mean,
it does.
if you're
It's scary.
talking like everyday people who take like blood pressure medicine to regulate that, or like anxiety medication, stuff like that, I mean, I don't know where this society would be without it.
No.
I mean, you have a lot of crazies running around, maybe.
Yeah, that's
like
what.
Antidepressant medication.
Once again, everybody gives me a hard time sometimes for carrying a gun with me all the time. You never know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not paranoid. No, I don't worry about it on a daily basis. Matter of fact, I don't even think about it until we're having discussions like this. It's just second nature to throw my bag in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pistol on my side or wherever I have it on me.
And
Always.
And for that one negative, Nancy, we don't carry guns to shoot people.
No, I carry guns to protect people like them.
I carry guns to protect people in situations that need protection. For instance,
Myself,
well,
my family, whoever.
I mean, for instance, we talked about that situation that happened to some friends of ours that were up in the city. They
Yeah,
were shopping at a mall.
yeah.
Nobody there, from what I understood, had a concealed carry or anything. Could have de-escalated a major situation.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
But also, I mean, there you go again. You have to look at that as because nobody else had one. That also, in some aspects, was a good thing.
yeah, oh yeah,
Because even if you've got one, if you don't know what you're doing
oh yeah,
and you don't practice those scenarios, all you're going to do is make yourself another victim and escalate the situation.
Yeah.
Personal opinion, that's all it is. But I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah. But
Like my backpack.
this is a wild episode.
Right?
This is a wild
So my
episode.
backpack, we were talking about that, that I carry every day. And he kind of gave me a hard time. He's like, "Oh yeah, you got a pistol in
Well,
there."
I mean, he's gave me a ride to work, and that bag is in the truck.
I don't always have a pistol. I carry this. It folds up. You don't even know it's there. And it shoots the same caliber, takes the same clip, which is not in it, by the way. And it was checked and cleared before we started this. This takes the same clip as my Glock. This is a Kel-Tec Sub 2000. Shoots 9mm ammo. It folds up. It goes right in my bag. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. And I can attest to the fact that at 150 yards, it's a tack driver. Works great. Just another situation to make sure somebody's safe if I need to. Including myself, somebody else, whoever.
So I guess to wrap this episode up of the spiral wormhole, we just
Yeah, wow.
put everybody down about
That
what
got
you
serious.
have at home. Like we ended the last episode, be sure to watch the video all the way through. There's going to be that word somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I
Dead
forgot about
serious.
that. Yeah, there's going to be a word.
We're dead serious on the giveaway.
You got to know the words in order.
Yes, they will go from the last episode to this one to the next two or
Maybe over
three.
here. Maybe over here.
Yeah, and we'll announce on the last one what the word is. Like, not what the word is, but what that's the last one. Be sure to comment at that episode, wherever it may be.
Yeah,
And
that,
so-
that one.
Yeah, but I mean, to wrap that up, just make sure you have everything you need at home for that situation.
Be prepared.
Yeah, just be prepared.
Like, don't be paranoid.
and be safe.
Yeah, don't be paranoid. I'm not trying to get people to be doomsday preppers.
No,
But
I'm
at the
gonna
end
go
of
buy a
the-
samurai sword now.
Right? He said, I'm going to buy a samurai sword and a package of licorice.
Right.
And I'm going to be ready.
Right.
But, you want people to think about your neighbor.
Yeah.
If it come down to it, are you prepared enough to take care of yourself and possibly help out the person who lives down the road?
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's okay.
What's
Because
that
at the
saying?
end of the day, we're all we've got.
Yeah. How does that saying go? Look out for thou neighbor, or
Yeah, for
Something
sure.
like that.
Well, I don't know. You're telling us what?
I've heard.
Yeah, love thy neighbor.
Yeah. Well, I don't love all my neighbors, but
I mean,
there is a few of them I would take care of.
at the end of the day, people I think at heart are good.
Yeah.
They are. There's a lot of naysayers, a lot of haters. Probably a lot of people are gonna be like, I can't believe these guys are talking about guns. Yeah, no. Well, get over it. It's good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we just want to make sure our families are safe, everybody else is safe, and everybody has a good time.
And you're safe.
And you're safe. Be safe.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
So-
Wow, I just totally went Star Trek.
Yeah.
Was not going to do
We're
that.
gonna go to the mothership sometime. So.
Oh, hey, speaking of which, I hadn't mentioned you yet today. I didn't have a missed call from Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I'm upset.
I think it's on vacation.
I thought we were closer than that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm upset too.
Yeah. And the mothership, yeah, that's an option. I think it'd be fun.
I'll put a green screen behind us.
Oh,
Have
we are going
aliens
to put
walking around.
a green screen. One of these days, we're going to put a green screen back here. We're going to have an alien on one shoulder. Joe Rogan's going to be here with us. Even if he's not, we can dub him in, right?
Oh,
Can we
yeah,
do that?
yeah, I can put him in.
Okay,
So.
cool.
All right. Well, wrap this up. Stay safe.
Not really sure what we got in store for the next episode. May have some special guests, may not.
May have some guns to talk about.
Oh, hey.
May do some comparison shooting and
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
yeah.
We could do a couple of comparisons on the one you were talking about and the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we
Oh, yeah,
we
stick
do have
around.
some big guns.
Stick around.
Yeah,
That,
we got
that
some.
next one I think is going to be good.
Yeah, we got a gun that hadn't even been out that long.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, I forgot about that.
So.
Ho, 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 yes.
All right. Well, we'll catch you all in the next episode.
Good.